Es, no, yo te yo voy
First, I'd like to answer Councilman Tony George's question with regard to the Finance Committee. I submitted a right to know request out for all members of all the boards and authorities about a year and a half ago. So unless there's been any recent appointments by this council, you guys probably would recall better than I. The members are as follows: Chairman Mayor Tom Layton, Vice Chairman John J. Murphy, former City Administrator, Secretary James Ryan, Assistant Secretary Ann Toole, Treasurer John J. Koval, Assistant Treasurer, former Controller Bernie Megenhauser, and member is listed as Michael J. McGinley. So there you have the members of the boards or authorities as published on Wake Up Wilkes Barre. Also, I wanted to talk tonight about the number 9 firehouse. As many of you probably read in the Times Leader, it is again for sale. And I worry, as probably do our veterans, what will become of the monument that this administration sold back in 2010. Or was it 2009? Forgive me, I may be a little fuzzy on the dates of when it was sold. But at any rate, the mayor said back then in 2010 that most likely, I'm quoting his words from the Times Leader article here, most likely the city would take control of the memorial, Layton said. We will probably make it part of the park. I assume that meant that the memorial would be moved just a few feet to the left into Parsons Park, and thus would no longer be a problem as what might happen should someone buy that property. Now, right now we have a great owner who allows the veterans to hold their services there for the parade. And I only hope that we continue that with a new owner, but there's no guarantee, as nothing was ever done to protect the citizens. And keep in mind that this was donated by the citizens of Parsons. They raised the money, they donated this monument to the city while we owned that property, and then we went ahead and sold what they donated. And to me, that's a shame. I'm sure the veterans would agree as well. Mayor Layton also said in 2011, Times Leader again, that he was unaware that that monument was on the parcel being sold. Again, I find that a little hard to believe that a real estate broker wouldn't know how to read a deed, but maybe he doesn't. But at any rate, what I would ask this council to do is to possibly speak with the current owner, ask him to put maybe Mr. Henry can speak a little bit more intelligently on this, but a deed covenant or so much as just an easement, granting the city an easement for that little sliver of parcel of, so that it wouldn't affect the ownership. A deed covenant could be put in there very easily, probably to little to no cost to either the taxpayers or the current owner. When it goes to transfer, as he's the owner with the fee simple deed, he can certainly put an easement in there granting the city a right of way just to that monument. Thereby any transfer thereafter, the deed covenant would remain in effect and wouldn't be able to be removed without Mr. Lombardo's signature. So at least that might protect that monument. So that's my request. I would hope council would please take that under advisement.
Actually, Bill, I and Drew already discussed the covenant part.
Okay, great. So you guys are already on top of that. Very good. Thank you so much.
Mr. Sorick, what about the possibility of moving the monument off of that property onto?
We would need the current owner's permission, as we no longer own that monument. Again, it was gifted to the city by the people of Parsons, and once that happened, it became a city asset, and this council, well, not this particular council, but some of this council voted to sell that along with the number 9 firehouse. If the owner would be willing to give it back to the city, I'm sure the veterans, the people of Parsons would be very happy to have that moved back over, as would I.
The issue is the monument itself, it's not that piece of ground.
Correct, yeah, the monument is what we're talking about here. And, you know, I mean, just moving it a few feet over back onto city property would be great if the current owner is willing to give it back to the city. But as he's always allowed the Parsons Parade to start and end from there, and he's always allowed the services to be held there, I don't foresee that being a problem, but again, we do need his permission.
Have you looked into that option?
You discussed all those options.
I think that's the most
Have we
viable
looked into that
option, is to
option?
ask them to donate it back to the city.
And the first step is reaching out to him, to Mr.
Correct.
Ryan. Maybe your office, and Mr. Ryan's office, can facilitate that. I'd be more than happy to sit as well. And see how receptive is to that. And, there are several fixes, but that is the first step regardless of what we do. It is his copy.
It is. Thank you so much.
Thank you.